I'm here at IFA 2025 and I've done about 80,000 steps having a look at this exciting tech that we've got here, all the innovation, so much cool stuff. Some stuff that's questionable, but I'm gonna save you the trouble of walking that much and I'll show you my top tech finds here at IFA 2025. Come with me. Every year I ask myself the same thing. Is a tech event related sort of roundup video still worth your time here on YouTube? Or should I just cover one product at a time? Maybe there's a way if I only show you the highlights. Just the stuff that made me stop, kind of stare at the thing and press record on my camera. And what best place to start than Aqara? I gotta start with Aqara. They have incredible new solutions, cameras, doorbells, sort of locks and everything. But the star of the show for me was actually something quite small. It's the FP300. The reason for it is because with this, it makes everything else possible. It enables the entire stack for home automation. It's so clever and it's now battery powered, which means you can have this, I think it lasts a couple of years as well. It's a 5-in-1 presence sensor combining millimeter wave, which means it's very sensitive to movement, PIR, light, temperature and humidity. And because it runs on battery, you can place it where a presence actually needs detecting. Hallways, bathrooms, kids' rooms, not just where there's a spare socket. But the benefit of this new sensor is now a faster, more precise presence detection and far fewer false like room empty moments, heating that saves you energy when rooms are not in use, and scenes that adapt to how a space is being used. But what gives the FP300 real value for me is the Aqara sort of huge stack of tech, right? Automations 2.0 adds deeper when, if, then logic. Local LAN control keeps routines running even if the internet has a wobble. There's a lot of intelligence going on in here to detect, for example, if someone is actually home versus, just a single motion blip. And if you've got mixed ecosystems, no worries, there's Matter and Thread support, plus Matter over Bridge for Zigbee, and Apple users still get the nice things like HomeKey, HomeKit Secure, Video, Siri of course, and Michelle from Aqara was there. She's such a bubbly personality as well, and I asked her what makes the FP300 special in day-to-day use.
So I guess you are familiar with our FP2, our very first presence sensor.
Yeah.
It's a hit among many smart home users, but the only complaint we get is that we don't want cable. It's hard to find an outlet to charge and it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want a battery.
More convenient.
I want a battery version, and here it is the battery version
Amazing.
of our first battery operated presence sensor. As you could see here, it actually combines both the PIR motion and millimeter wave for accurate presence detection. A classic use case will be, I want to turn on my light only when this room is occupied and when it's dark.
Right.
Previously, you will need like 2 or even 3 sensors to automate your light. But with this versatile solution, you just need one.
Just the one, that's amazing.
Yes, and before you ask, 2 years of battery life.
2 years,
Yes,
wow, amazing.
And also it's dual protocol, so it supports both Thread and Zigbee.
Sweet, and I noticed you've got a little swivel as well, right?
Yes.
So you can point it any direction.
And it could be magnetic, or you could be, of course, stickers and also screws too. So but with magnetic, personally, I will just put it on my fridge.
One use case might be kind of, you're very particular, like sit on the sofa, not even moving, and you will still detect that it's there because it uses the
millimeter wave. It's much more sensitive. It could detect very slight or say minor movements.
Even if you fall asleep.
Yes. As minor or say as nuanced as your heart beating.
Oh wow. I've been thinking about doing a whole kind of refresh of my home automation at home and here in the studio. So hopefully I can get Aqara to do that and share with you more of the technology. Now another great revelation in 2025 for me in the world of tech was Valerion. And now they brought the Vision Pro Master Max, and you can interchange lenses. All the specs have been bumped up as well. And there's some features in it that are kind of, you'd expect to see that in a much more high-end projector, and they managed to fit that in this projector here. Incredible stuff. Come with me, let me show you. And it's honestly on another level. It's not just a spec bump, it's almost like a complete lifestyle change, which is what makes Valerion for me one of the leaders in projectors, because the stuff that they put in projectors for me is shouldn't be at this price range. They put some really premium features at this price range that I think is amazing. 2 headline advantages that you should know about. One, world first anti-RBE technology, which eliminates 99.99% of rainbow effects. And I saw that in person over there. There's lots of people. The buzz was so real in the space. It was incredible to see. So if you're sensitive to kind of that prism flicker that you sometimes see on DLP projectors, this all but removes it. And the second thing is their black level, a 50,000 to 1 contrast ratio with EBL and Iris technology. As you can imagine, dark scenes hold their shape and detail instead of kind of washing out. So films and games feel properly cinematic. They actually had a cinema set up in there, which was awesome to see, not just from an image perspective, but the audio setup that they had in there was awesome. And here's a quick demo of the lens shift technology. This is optical lens shift as well. I'm not moving the projector and I'm not using a digital keystone. They had this see-through option in there to have a look, and it was fascinating to see. The whole lens assembly slides, so the picture glides smoothly while staying perfectly square and sharp, which means you can park it off center on a shelf or a coffee table and still line it up to the wall without throwing away pixels or softening edges. Because it's optical, brightness and geometry stays consistent, right, across the screen. It's smooth, quiet, genuinely useful, especially if you don't want to remount anything. So you introduced external lenses as well?
Yeah, so we also have external lenses. We have EBL, Iris, and also external lenses on Max.
Oh, like anamorphic and stuff like that?
Yeah, more anamorphic, and also it can change the throw ratio to a longer distance.
I'm also always impressed with the speakers that you have on these projectors. Mm-hmm. Have you changed anything in the Max in terms of audio that is already built in?
So for Max, we now have wireless speakers.
Right.
So it's easier to connect to Max right now.
Right.
And you were just in the home theater, and you can feel the surrounding sound around you.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. This lens here is actually an anamorphic lens, and look how easy it is to install. And it was just awesome to geek out about the cinema installation they had in there. The whole, like I said, the buzz in the place was great. People were playing games, watching movies. That was one of my favorite booths to go and see. Oh, by the way, over at Samsung, they were pushing the AI home message pretty hard this year. And if you look through the marketing fluff, right, there was actually a lot of cool stuff in there. Honestly, hats off to Samsung. And forgetting AI for a moment, the micro RGB display tech that they showed in there this week, it was proper future peak moment, right? Deep blacks, color that pops without going cartoonish. But that's, you can say that about any TV that is new. This is not a normal TV. It was one of those moments that you have to stop and go, holy crap, what am I looking at here? But I'll come back to Samsung in a bit, with some more practical. But this is the typical crowd magnet at an event because it was so striking. Talking about striking stuff, this piece of tech here is one that I think is going to be so useful for so many people. This is a home gym. This is the SPEEDIANCE Gym Monster 2, and it's the first all-in-one home gym that I tried personally. That feels like a proper upgrade from those usual equipments that you buy to build a gym at home. No compromises. Honestly, always wanted to have a gym at home, and I think this is it. But the beauty for me is it comes without the vast investment that a home gym can cost. And everything's digital. The headline really is the weight and how he manages weights. And it can go to about 100 kilos or 220 pounds. And that's driven by dual direct drive motors. So basically magnetic force in there with precise 1 pound increments as well. So you can nudge the load precisely set to set. And wow, there's so much you can do with this machine. And check out all the attachments that you can have as well. A barbell, extension straps, tricep rope, handles. What an incredible idea. And you can of course, add a little rowing machine in there if you want. There's bits that you can add to this as well. You might be thinking, okay, I've seen this before, Alex, what's special about this? Hear me out. The clever bit for me is how it applies the load to your sessions. You've got 4 resistance modes, standard for classic lifts, chain where it kind of ramps up as you reach the top of the movement, awesome feel to that, eccentric, which is quite a very intense one as well, to load the negative, and constant for steady tempo and sort of rehab work. One of the things that I sometimes hate is going to the gym if it's like the weather's too cold or I don't know, it's too wet or maybe you're too tired. But SPEEDIANCE is not just about the convenience of having a mini gym in your home. There's a little bit more to it. The actual exercises can be very focused, which you don't usually get in a gym equipment. So what they're saying here is that you can be very targeted sometimes and perhaps even Complement what you do at the gym with something like this. It's incredible how the weight adjusts as you are exercising, not just if you set the weight to say 50 kilos in one exercise, it doesn't just stay there, it adjusts as your body moves. It's super clever. And like I said, it allows you to be more targeted with your exercises. As you train, it tracks your effort and updates things like estimated 1RM, an imbalance correction as well in real time. And there's a built-in spotter mode, so you can push without panicking. If something happens, it's very easy to remove the load. If you want to share it, there's a partner mode, which is awesome when you're doing that with someone else, and unlimited user profiles, which is brilliant for families. You can have 4, 5, 6 people in there, all sharing the same machine. It also connects to your smartwatch, making the whole experience even more connected. Programming wise, you get 400 plus guided workouts, templates, a free lift option when you just want to crack on. And the beauty is there's no mandatory subscription. An optional Wellness Plus layer exists as well if you're into readiness and recovery stats. Day to day, the convenience sells it for me. A 21.5 inch tilting screen as well, very responsive to touch, amazing to use, no issues there, very bright. But yeah, no need to wall mount anything or drill anything to the wall, fits through a doorway very easily. Actually comes when it gets delivered to you, it's all assembled already. All you gotta do is remove from the box and lift it up. In the box, you've got the bench, handles, adjustable barbell, like I said, and all the accessories, plus a very nifty Bluetooth ring, which was super easy to use, so you can adjust the weight mid-set without breaking rhythm, just with your thumb. So useful. And the beauty is, when you're done with this, it folds up neatly as well. So if your space is limited, and it's on wheels as well, so you can move it anywhere. It's an incredible bit of kit. I'm seriously considering one for myself, maybe have it here in the studio, because I spend so many hours here. It'll be awesome to be doing some exercise in between without having to go to the gym. All the links are in the description. I forgot to mention that earlier, but definitely worth checking them out. If you're thinking about creating a gym at home, SPEEDIANCE could reduce the cost significantly for you, and it was awesome to meet them there. You may already know that I'm a fan of the NotePin from PLAUD. I still use it for meetings, event keynotes, which was great last week, and capturing ideas on the go. And this year, I've just added a brand new Note Pro to the collection. This extremely thin, you can probably just see there how thin it is, keeps that portable convenience, but adds what I wanted. 4 microphones with a 3 to 5 meter pickup as well, an on-device little display as well for status at a glance, for 50 hours of non-stop recording with 60 days standby as well, Apple Find My, and much faster transfer via dual band Wi-Fi or a cable. My favorite aspect of this thing is the quality of the audio it records now. But what's the main difference between the Pin and the Pro?
One of the best features that the Pro has is that it focuses in loud environments, so that it kind of like finds out where the audio source is coming from. Nice. And the microphone sensors kind of focus on just the main audio source and kind of cuts out the background and the surrounding sounds.
PLAUD app is where it all becomes like a proper smart assistant, multimodal capture, audio, photos of slides, typed notes as well, pinned comments, and AI meeting notes that turn that chaos into summaries. There's insights, to-dos, automatically adding things to your calendar, creating mind maps, really great power dynamics analysis when you really need it, really leveraging modern AI tools to give you precise, to the point information that is very relevant for you. And talking about AI, after the meeting, Ask PLAUD can draft follow-ups or pull data from your notes, and the platform highlights compliance with things like SOC 2 and GDPR compliance, very secure end-to-end encryption. In the last 18 months or so, I've actually replaced all my messy notebook setups that I had before. After a long day on the show floor or meetings at work, not kidding, I was doing 20,000 steps a day last week, and this was extremely handy to record all the important keynotes, all the people I was meeting as well. Sometimes you just want to be present in the meeting and not worry about taking notes. This is it. Check out PLAUD using the link in the description, and you can use my code ALEX as well for a $10 off on the selected products. Now, AR glasses becoming a thing, right? But I saw 2 over there, and they're not sponsoring this video, but they are worth a mention. TCL, Rayneo, and Rokid. We're finally edging past dark room only territory, or like Apple, you have to be attached to batteries and stuff. Rayneo's optics have more punch than I expected under Hall lighting. And Rokid's UX is cleaner, snappier than the last time I tried it. And they're both very different. I love the new Rokid because it's such a a light smart glasses. I'm still a skeptic outdoors at noon, for example, but for travel, subtitles and quick dashboards in a cafe,
Rokid,
being
start
abroad
recording.
and trying to kind of read menus and stuff like that, yes, you can use your phone, but it's so nice not to need your phone. Now this one is a little bit left field. It's NEURA Robotics basically. And NEURA is my actually useful robot pick. There were so many robots everywhere. Robot this, robot that. But these guys, watching you fold clothes and handle household chores without throwing a tantrum was oddly satisfying. I even had a quick chat in Portuguese with one of them there, the demo units that they had in there.
Eu fui criado recentemente, então sou bem jovem, mas sempre estou aprendendo e melhorando com o tempo.
Respect to the team that, for setting that up. It felt very natural. I'll post more details on that as a separate short video maybe, but imagine completely removing laundry out of your life. I'm all up for that. Not sure about the way robots look, but yeah, let me know what you think.
What happens if I press the red button?
Look, it's that time of the year with new iPhones and stuff like that, so I had to go and have a look at ESR as well. I did an entire video on them, so I won't spend too much time here. But the latest anti-reflective protectors and stash stand cases for me are the highlights. Amazing for travel. I'm 100% going to be using them again. If you watch your phone on trains, cafes, or maybe just over dinner or whatever, really clever, very functional and great quality cases and accessories for your iPhone. I really think it's a shame that they don't officially do anything for Android. Some of their wallets might work on Android phones, but I really wish ESR would do more for the Samsung phones, for example. Talking about Samsung, back to Samsung for something practical and actually something you don't really need to buy. And that's Knox. This is like their unsung hero for me, but even that can sound a little bit cliche. I really mean it. For my sins, I used to work in cybersecurity in the corporate world, and the stuff that I've seen in terms of constant threats and to our devices and to our family, it's scary. But yeah, not many people talk about it. You don't see many reviews on it, but Knox, it's such a powerful feature. Here's where it clicked for me, right? AI Home, which is the new message from Samsung, right? Think of your Samsung stitching your phone, your TV, your appliances together through SmartThings. So the house just does all the admin, the lighting, the temperature, the blinds, the laundry, and even energy usage as well without you having to babysit several apps. Talking naturally to the TV and using the watch as a gesture control for the remote, it was awesome to experience that. It's all great. But this is why I think Knox really matters, because there's so much data about our behaviors, floating around all our devices and personal data as well in some cases. So Samsung has this thing called Knox Vault, which protects all of that sensitive data at the hardware level, whilst Knox Matrix extends a trust chain across all your connected devices, a phone, TV, appliances. So the system can basically authenticate itself and keep things honest. And it's nice, right? It's one of those things that for me, it will become more and more important despite it being invisible. For me, it's like the lock on the front door of your house. And with so much personal data flying around, I think this is only going to become more and more important. But yeah, it's not the usual sexy gadget stuff, but I'll keep shouting about Samsung and any companies that treat security as a feature, not as an afterthought, because I've been there when things go bad.
The thing that caught my attention as sort of my top tech finds at IFA was their micro RGB screen. This thing is honestly, you've got to see in person. Of course, it's going to be pretty expensive when it launches, but it's absolutely the future in terms of technology. It's incredible what they've done, and we'll go through the details in a moment. Come with me.
For example, here to give an idea, there's a standard LED light, a mini LED, and a micro RGB. And you can see here that is, you need a microscope to see the difference. It's incredible, really, how many you can put in a screen. Of course, as I said earlier, this is going to cost a lot of money. I think I saw the price for like a $30,000 TV. But hopefully, this is the beginning of this technology, and we'll see prices coming down soon. And the other thing that really impressed me there was the Vision AI technology. The ability for you to interact with your TV in much better ways than what we're used to, using control or using voice. This is a lot friendlier, and seeing all this technology being brought to life by Samsung really made us feel like this is the future. Now, Hypershell is such a fun product. It's my sort of guilty pleasure pick here. A wearable assist that gives you a cheeky boost, let's call it, on hills, long walks. It's still an early adopter sort of product, but seeing people use it live was incredible. And as you can see here, people are running, cycling, and much more to come on that because, yeah, it's natural now. And I was really impressed with the Govee product. I never really tried them before, but they looked so cool as well. With the festive season coming up and Black Friday deals coming up as well, they are definitely on my list. I want to keep an eye on as well, on the deals and things like that, because one of the new products is a TV backlight, and we've seen a few of those around, right? But Govee's new ones, it's so fast. I've got like 3 cameras, I think, looking at the screen, and I loved how the light at the back, I think they've got more lights at the back. I don't know what it is, but it generated this really even gradient on the wall, not just like blotches of light, you know, which we've seen before, and it was not really that impressive. It was super accurate as well, you know, very small tones of color showing on the screen appear on the wall behind it. It's a very kind of pleasing thing to see. Whether it was movies, games, or very fast-paced content, it was awesome to see the colors changing. Outdoor-wise, this product here really caught my eye as well. It can cut, bend, extend it. There's quite a few external light products in there, but this one here is one that caught my eye, and the RGBs are controllable individually as well, so you can really customize it. But I think the one most people will go for is this new curtain of LEDs. And you can actually make this bigger as well by joining them, but all customizable through an app. Amazing animations because, you know, there's so many of these little lights, and it makes it awesome. And I can't wait to see that in a kind of holiday or Halloween decorations setup. Be awesome to try that out. All right, that was a bit of a whirlwind of stuff. There was much more, but if you prefer deep dives, fair enough. And I will, for the stuff that I really enjoyed, or the stuff that you might enjoy as well, let me know, and I will have dedicated opportunities as well for anything that stands out. But a single clean pass like this maybe saves you hours of browsing, hopefully, and perhaps saves you some impulse buys as well. If you enjoyed this, give it a hype. It's a new thing on YouTube. Or share it with your mates as well who loves gadgets. Massive thanks to Valerion, Aqara, SPEEDIANCE, and PLAUD for supporting the channel, and to you for keeping me honest. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.